And we are back, y'all. Go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about a theme that's going around. Other creators have made content about it, but I think I'm going to bring something a little different to the conversation today. So hit the like button, y'all, for a different perspective. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is the fact that some certain people believe that thugs seized cash and maybe even other valuables have been used by Fani Willis's office, perhaps to pay her counsel, her special counsel on the Trump case, Nathan Wade, also her boyfriend. Now, remember, we found out about that due to Ashley Merchant's tremendous investigation. Now, what I'm going to do for those who have not seen this, I'm going to go ahead and play the TikTok video that got all of this started, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Then I'm going to jump into a perspective that I haven't seen anybody else have as of now.
So let's talk tea, and yes, I have receipts. I want to talk to you about the suspicious timing between the seizure of Young Thug's property and some payments made to Fani Willis's boyfriend, Nathan Wade. So if you haven't seen my video about the other Young Thug case from last week, it explains the civil forfeiture process. You don't have to go back and watch it, but it might, color in some of the corners for you there on how this process works. But basically, Fulton County, through Fani Willis's office, is trying to seize a bunch of thugs' property, millions of dollars worth of jewelry and property and cash, things like that. It has not been resolved yet, okay? So we know that. We know the timeline is that Thug was arrested in May of 22. And if you'll look at this, this is the cover page of the complaint. It's a civil action to seize his property. It's filed by the district attorney's office, so filed by Fani Willis's office. And you can see up in the corner that it's stamped July 7th of 2022, okay? So this is when they start the seizure process. Now, at the same time that this Young Thug case is going on, both the criminal case and the seizure of his property, because they said it was ill-gotten gain, basically, from the criminal enterprise. We also know that Fani Willis had impaneled a grand jury to indict the former and future president, okay? That grand jury was impaneled also in May of 22. Now, she, as we all know, had hired her boyfriend to be the lead prosecutor, Nathan Wade, okay? So while she hired him at the end of 21, payments to him in earnest began in 22. So let me give you a little tip if you ever want to look into this stuff yourself, and feel free to look into it anyway if you want to back up what I'm saying. There's something called Fulton County Open Checkbook, which anybody can access. You don't have to be a lawyer, and it shows you all the payments that have been made to different vendors. Nathan Wade was a vendor because he didn't work for the DA's office. He was brought in independently. And that's how he got paid this 700 and something thousand dollars. So you go look at all this stuff yourself. Easy to do. So we know from looking at Open Checkbook, and here is a Excel spreadsheet of the download that I got of all the payments made to him. And I am putting all these receipts up on my website under my blog so you can look at them yourself there too. So what this Excel spreadsheet shows that while he was normally paid out of the general fund, there were 3 payments starting in July of 22 where he was paid out of the seized property fund, okay? July, August, and September. That means that within 8 days of them filing this seizure of Young Thug's property, the way that Nathan Wade was paid, instead of drawing from the general fund, was drawn from the seized property fund, which you are not allowed to do, okay? So we see 3 payments, and then it goes back to paying him through the general fund. So Ashley Merchant, which should surprise nobody, figured this out, all right? And so in March of 2024, Newsweek got a hold of this information. And Newsweek called the Fulton County, of course, to be like, hey, how could you do this? How could you pay him through the seized property fund? You're not allowed to. And Fulton County said, nope, this was just a clerical error, a data entry error, just a mistake. Nothing to see here, move along. And I put a link to that Newsweek article on my blog as well. So I went back and looked, and lo and behold, as of this morning, here's a screenshot. You can see, if you want to pause, down in the bottom, it has today's date this morning. It is still listed as paid from the property seizure fund. So it's interesting, if it was just a clerical error, merely an error and a coincidence, that it's never been corrected in 8 months. And so if you look at this Newsweek article, let's give Fulton County the benefit of the doubt on their credibility for a minute. The chief operations officer for the district attorney's office says, oh no, we could never pay. It's clearly a mistake. We could never pay. We never have that much money to pay out of the fund. It's just a mistake. So I would lean toward giving them some credibility, because I certainly don't do the accounting for the DA's office until I looked up who the chief operations officer is. Dexter Q. Bond. And so for those of you that have been following along, he is the person that was refusing to provide Ashley Merchant with open records requests. He was violating the rules and not giving her what she was supposed to be given. It ended up in a lawsuit. The judge is going to rule against them. And if you saw Dexter Bond's testimony, it was so bad. It was really just, I had secondhand embarrassment for him. It was so bad. So that's the person that's trying to say nothing to see here, move along. So I'd love to give them some credibility, but he doesn't have any. So feel free to go look at this stuff on my website. That is some 8 days is a awful big coincidence from when they go after Thug's property to when suddenly there's a clerical error and Nathan Wade is being paid out of that fund instead. So look for yourself on my blog, and let me know your thoughts on this coincidence.
Now that you've seen the TikTok video, this is my perspective, or at least this is something I want to enter into the conversation. It's called fungibility of money. Now, this is kind of an interesting word, fungibility. So let's go ahead and define it real quick, and then we'll see how this may play a role in this entire saga. Fungibility of money is interchangeability and lack of unique identifiers tied to its source. Now, I will say this, whenever the government seizes money from somebody, they don't want it to be totally fungible, right? They don't want $1 over here to equal $1 over there. So they're supposed to hold it in different accounts or segregate it in some way, so that, for example, if they seize $100 from Thug and they seize $100 from Joe Blow, those $200 are not supposed to be fungible. They're supposed to be separate and differently identified $100. They're not supposed to be interchangeable. But let's continue. So fungibility is interchangeability and lack of unique identifiers, and that can make it vulnerable to misuse, particularly when proper oversight and procedural safeguards are absent. Seized cash specifically is at risk of being improperly utilized even before the legal process surrounding the seizure is complete. Here is how this can occur, okay? Now pay attention. Premature use of seized cash. Authorities might use seized cash to pay for special counsel. Now, I did ask ChatGPT about this in particular. Authorities might use seized cash to pay for special counsel, operational expenses, or other immediate costs before the legal seizure process is finished. This could happen if there is a presumption that the funds will ultimately be forfeited. So if you're like, man, we're going to get this anyway, let's go ahead and use it. You know what I'm saying? Even though the court has not yet ruled on their legitimacy. The problem with this is if the seizure is later deemed improper or unlawful, the original owner may be entitled to return their money, but the funds may no longer be available because they were already spent. Now, I will add this, y'all. That's not the only problem. It's a problem if you use it, even if later the judge does award that seized cash to the government. It's still a problem that you used it inappropriately in the first place. So the only problem is not that you may later not get the money. Even if you, as the government, later do get the money, it's still a crime that you used it inappropriately in the first place. You have lack of transparency and accountability, and you also have conflict of interest. When authorities have direct control over the use of seized cash, there may be a conflict of interest. Now, this is what I think a lot of people are thinking here, right? Because if Fani Willis is in a relationship with Nathan Wade and she's paying him out of the seized funds budget or the seized funds accounts, right? Then in a sense that may help herself out. It's helping a romantic interest, and that romantic interest, for one, that benefits you because you're in a romantic relationship. So your standing and your, let's say your love, your love may increase due to that. But also that person, that romantic interest of yours may use that money to benefit you back. They may take you on trips. They may give you a loan. Hint, hint, wink, wink. They may buy you a diamond ring. They may just give you a lump of cash as a gift. So, there's definitely a conflict of interest. And there are other concerns as well. So this is the sort of thing people are really concerned about. But the reason I wanted to bring up fungibility is because, again, a dollar equals a dollar. So if this money is not segregated and tracked properly, this money can essentially get lost in the system. So the only reason that we are even talking about this money is because on their accounting software, they labeled it as the payments going to Wade, they labeled it as coming from seized cash. But then they came back and said, oh no, that was an accident. So that really does start to show you how fungible it is, right? Because hold up, where'd the money come from, right? You're making it fungible right there because you're saying that we can accidentally say seized cash when it's really a different general kind of budget, et cetera, et cetera. So y'all, this is something I wanted to bring to the conversation. And what I'm going to do now is I'll give a quick opinion, and then I'm going to go into a previous video where on live we went through all of the different items and property that they seized from Thug that was listed on the inventory, okay? On the seized property inventory. Now, we have seen with Detective Viverito that there apparently were items that were taken that were not listed on the seizure video of inventory. In fact, this is the forfeiture inventory. It's not just the seizure inventory. It is the forfeiture inventory. So perhaps there's certain property that they're not looking to have forfeited. So this is going to be the forfeiture inventory that we're going to review in this video. But before we do that, let me give you an opinion. Do I think that Fulton County paid Nathan Wade out of the money that was taken from Thug? And this is what I'm going to say, y'all. The problem with answering that question is that they gave an indication that the answer was yes by listing it as coming from seized funds. So I'm going to say there's a probability of it because that is what they told us. Now, did it come from Thug seized funds? That's what we don't know, right? But if we're just going to believe what they told us, the public, particularly the residents of Fulton County, if we're going to believe what they told the public, then the money came from seized funds. Right now, did it come from Thug seized funds? That would be the question, which we don't necessarily have an answer to. So, some people are backing off saying, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I get it, right? I get it because it seems like it would be an incredibly stupid thing to do. But they also did signify that that's where the money came from. So, I'm going to let you be the judge, but I'm going to be a little bit more inclined to believe that the answer is yes, because, again, the authorities listed it as such. So with that, y'all, I'm going to shoot right into this video. Again, this is a previous live that we did where I went over all of the inventory that Fulton County is trying to yank, snatch, and just take from Thug and keep in their own clutches, okay? So let's get right into it. So, again, this is preliminary information. This is topic for discussion. But I'm certainly not saying this is the definitive list or anything of that sort. Okay? So with that said, let's take a look. I wonder if I can make this page bigger so y'all can see it. Let's see. Okay. So this is the Fulton County Magistrate, State, and Superior Court record search. Okay? And what we have here, the first thing we have here is a state of Georgia. So y'all, in order to let's have y'all understand something. I'm gonna bring up ChatGPT so that we can have ChatGPT explain something. Explain how in civil asset forfeiture the property is presumed guilty. Now, this is what I want y'all to get first. In civil asset forfeiture, it is the property that is presumed guilty, not the person. So that means that the state is going against the property, not the property's owner. I'm going to have ChatGPT do a quick little write-up. I'm going to say in less than I don't know, 150 words. We don't need no long write-up. Okay, in civil asset forfeiture, property itself is treated as the defendant. So this is Georgia versus the property. It is a strange concept, y'all, but this is how this is working. This is not with the forfeiture, with the property, with the assets. It is not the state versus thug directly. It is the state versus the property itself. So in civil asset forfeiture, property itself is treated as the defendant based on the legal fiction that it can be guilty. Y'all, this is real stuff, that it can be guilty of involvement in a crime. So this is saying that there's a concept, there's a legal concept, like not even hypothetically, like figuratively, I guess would be the word. Figuratively, the property can be guilty of a crime. Unlike criminal cases where the government must prove a person's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, okay? So the standard is reasonable doubt or beyond a reasonable doubt for a criminal case. Civil forfeiture only requires a lower standard of proof, often a preponderance of the evidence, to link the property to illegal activity. Okay? The burden then shifts to the owner to prove their property is innocent. So you are not proving you're innocent. You're proving that the property is innocent. You're proving that the property did not come from illegal activities. Okay, so y'all need to really get this in your mind. So this happens all the time. If you are traveling on an airplane and you have to declare over $10,000 and you're traveling with, let's say you have a gold bar. Let's say you're like, yo, I'm gonna take this 2 kilo or whatever, 40 kilo, whatever it would be. A gold bar worth $1 million. Let's say it's worth $1 million. you throw it in your luggage. You throw it in your carry-on because you don't want to check it. You throw it in your carry-on. When you pass it through TSA, they're like, yo, what is this big hunk of metal in your bag? So they open it up. They try to lift. They're like, yo, this might actually be some real gold here. And you're like, yeah, that is real gold. And they're like, yo, this is probably worth more than $10,000. You're like, of course it is. And they say, well, we're going to seize this. We're going to take this from you because we have a reason to believe that this may have come from illegal activity. Let's just say police officers can do this. They can stop you on the highway. If you have valuables over a certain amount, they can seize your valuables. They can seize your money. They can seize your gold bar. And then they get to keep it, okay? They get to keep it unless you, at your own expense and due to your own expense, your own effort, your own legal reasoning, basically, your own proof that you can provide, they get to keep your stuff unless you come back and are able to show that. So the burden is on you. And you have to prove that your property is innocent or unconnected to crime, which can be costly and difficult. So you might have to spend money, maybe even more money than the property is worth, okay? Maybe even spending more than the property itself is worth, okay, to get your property back. Like imagine they seize 10,000 off of you. Let's say you live on the East Coast, you're doing a road trip, you're somewhere in Utah, they seize $10,000 from you. You don't even live in Utah. They seize $10,000 in cash. So now in order to try to get your 10 G's back, once you get home, you're going to have to literally plan a whole trip to Utah, plus get a lawyer. Not saying that's going to cost you $10,000, but it's going to cost you multi-thousands of dollars to try to get your $10,000 back. Okay? Will Whitaker be the one to decide the property goes back to Thug? Thank you, Cammie, for the $4.99. You are a very consistent supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. We're going to see here shortly, y'all, that yes, Judge Whitaker is currently assigned this case. So I don't know for sure that it had to have been Whitaker, but it is Whitaker. We'll see that shortly. So I'm about to show y'all this. So just wrapping this up, y'all. What DA Love was saying here is we have all this stuff. We're about to see that it's worth millions of dollars. We're about to see that once we start going through this stuff. And DA Love is like, can you just give us the win on this right now? And it just so happens that this is with Whitaker. So Whitaker, I'm not sure would have been appropriate, but one would think that Whitaker did have the power to just give them the win. But but probably that would have been inappropriate, wrong, because there has to be a hearing for this. Like Thug has to have the opportunity to prove that his property is innocent, not prove that he's innocent. Remember, the criminal trial, he was pleading guilty. So DA Love is essentially saying from a legal perspective, if he's guilty, then his property's guilty too. Do y'all see? Y'all see the link? He's pleading guilty. We're here to hear him plead guilty. So therefore, DA Love is making this connection without spelling it out. And I'm not saying she's correct, that I agree with her, but this is the connection she's making. She's saying, well, if Thug's guilty, he's about to tell us he's guilty. His property must be guilty too. Melissa said the court said give his stuff back. I am going to show you the court case right now. It is currently stayed, I believe. I don't know, Melissa, if you can maybe give some specific guidance on where you saw that. I don't see that, but again, I'm not an expert in researching this stuff. So okay, y'all. So I'm about to go to the actual property itself, but I want everybody to be totally clear that what we're looking at right now, what we're going to is not whether or not Thug is guilty. Thug has pled guilty. He pled no contest to a couple of counts, and then he pled guilty to the rest of the counts. DA Love tried to pull a Aikido move and just flip that guilty plea into oh yeah, and you lose your stuff too. And Judge Whitaker said this is not the time or place for that. So she did not at that time say that Thug gets his stuff back. Now, Melissa, if you have a different source for that, I'll be happy to take a look at it. But Judge Whitaker did not at that time say you get your stuff back. She just said that's another time, that's another place. He might very well lose some of this stuff, y'all. Okay, he might lose some of this stuff. Did your research show that the most of the items are rented? We're going to get into that, Black Butterfly. Thank you for this. I don't think most of the items are rented, but we're going to get, when we come around to this motion for return of property, we're going to talk about some things that maybe either were rented or financed. We'll take a look at that shortly after we get into this list. So thank you for the 5 spot. Really do appreciate it. All right, y'all. So this is the property that the DA is saying is guilty of something. Okay. Now it's kind of all jumbled up. So let's just read it one by one. First things for okay. Now remember, this is not the state versus Thug. This is the state versus each piece of property or each individual property. Okay. So the first thing, now mind you, I think this is all Young Thug's stuff, but I think this stuff came from that house. So we don't necessarily know that everything that they have listed here belonged to Thug because they raided the house. Okay. So this is what would have been in the house or outside in the driveway, etc. We can kind of assume that a lot of this, if not most of it, is probably property of Thug. But if he had other people living there, some of this could have belonged to other people. It could have been in his house. Somebody could have left it there. He could have been holding it, or somebody else could have been in possession of somebody else's property who wasn't even there. So I don't want anybody to assume all of this is Thug's stuff. This is what was seized that day. Okay, this is what was seized that day. So we don't necessarily know who the property owner is. So y'all have said that 5 times now. So, I think I've done my due diligence on this. So the first thing we have is State of Georgia versus $150,000. So right off the bat, there was $150,000 right laying around. I say laying around. I don't know where it was, but so that's U.S. currency. So 150,000, bam, gone. Second thing is a 2022 Chevy Corvette. Now I'm gonna start looking up some images. So I'm gonna kind of pop back and forth, y'all, so that we can get some images of what this stuff probably looks like. So it's gonna be a bit of a back and forth here. I did put one of these on the thumbnail. I don't know what color it is, but this is more or less what it would look like. Okay, really cool red. I mean, again, I don't know what color the car was. I tried looking up the VIN number. It didn't bring up anything. I'm not going that deep with it. So that's a Chevy Corvette. 2022 Porsche 911. Again, did all of this belong to Thug? I don't know. Some of his boys might have been owners of some of this stuff too. Okay, but let's just take a look. You know, we pocket watching. We pocket watching Thug right now. So Porsche 911 2022 would probably look something like this black car here. I put a pink one on the I put a pink one on the thumbnail because that seems like Thug seemed like he would have like a pink one to me. So I don't know. All right, let's keep going back and forth, y'all. 2021 Mercedes-Benz Maybach or however you're supposed to pronounce it. So let's get back over here. This actually surprised me a little bit. This is a truck. Very nice truck, by the way. Very nice truck. I don't know if y'all how big y'all can see this, but this is a very nice truck. Mercedes-Benz Maybach truck. Okay. Next would be a white. So y'all, this is a lot. Like just in the vehicles, I'm like, yo, they really got my man. My man must have had like the lineup outside. Let's see here. This says a 2021 Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. I'm not sure which of these it would have been. It could have been this style. It could have been one of these other styles. Again, I'm not a super duper car person, y'all. So y'all might know. It just says Mercedes-Benz GT. It gives a VIN number, but it doesn't give any descriptive features. So I don't know. We have a gray 2021. So my man is living nice, y'all. I mean, not that we would have expected any different, but my man had a white and a gray. Hold up. Yeah, white and a gray Mercedes-Benz GT outside. Again, homie was living good. We have I'm not going to keep going back to the list. Y'all just trust me. This is what the list says. 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This could have very well been a Track Hawk or whatever. Who knows? Track Hawks are really popular nowadays. I think they're powerful and, whatever. But Jeep Grand Cherokee, 2021 Dodge Durango. Y'all, did he have? I'm starting to get the feeling some of this stuff might have come from other places that were not outside his house. Because we've looked up at Thug's house. And y'all, we can take a look at Thug's house again. Well, his old house, if y'all want. Seemed like it wouldn't have been space for all these cars. It's a rack of cars. Good morning, Lisa. How you doing? 2015 Can-Am Spider. So that's on the list too. Okay, so this is one of these little three-wheelers. Okay. We have some firearms, y'all. I'll need to look those up. We have a Glock. Well, I guess we can look up a few of them. Why not? Why not? We have a bunch of firearms that. Now, we do see that this was filed 2 years ago. They want condemnation of money in automobile. Y'all, it seems wrong, and it probably is wrong, but it's also probably pretty standard too. So this would not probably have been DA Love that did this. I'm not sure. But I think the fact that we've seen this whole case and it kind of makes you furious about everything. But this is going to be pretty standard when Oh yeah, we have jewelry. We do have jewelry. Unique. We're about to talk about that in a sec. So I would think this would be pretty standard, y'all. So Paige Whitaker, she is the person presiding over this. She is the person presiding over this. And it says stayed, which means that for the moment, this case is not moving forward. The condemnation is not moving forward, but Judge Whitaker did indicate that she is going to be allowing this to go forward at a later time. Okay. Y'all, please do hit the like button. I'm still here, buddy. Please do hit the like button, y'all. If you're not subscribed, do subscribe. Hit the like button, okay? All right, y'all. So just as a quick review for anybody who's just popping in, these are the things that we have been able to determine that were seized as part of the YSL sweep, okay? Again, I made the disclaimer. I don't know that all of this stuff belongs to Young Thug. I just don't know, okay? But these are the things that we've been able to determine. $150,000 in cash, a 2002 Corvette, 2022 Corvette, 2022 Porsche 911, 2021 Maybach truck, 2021 white and a 2021 gray Mercedes-Benz AMG GT, 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee, 2021 Dodge Durango, and a 2015 Can-Am Spyder. Bunch of guns, and then we have the jewelry. Now, the problem with just putting assorted jewelry here is that could be anything from a few pairs of diamond earrings all the way up to who knows. It could be tens of millions of dollars worth of jewelry. Like, we just don't know, right? So again, going back to our discussion from a few minutes ago, if you were not here, we were just saying here, and I'm gonna review this real quick for anybody. In civil asset forfeiture, the property itself is treated as the defendant based on the legal fiction that it can be guilty of involvement in a crime. So that is why the defendant, the plaintiff, is the state of Georgia. The defendant is each property. Jeffrey Williams is not the defendant in this civil asset forfeiture. He was the defendant in the criminal case, along with other people. He is not the defendant technically in the civil asset forfeiture. We don't really know who this property belongs to. Some of this property might not even be Thug's, might have been anybody's. We don't know. But as you can see, all of these different properties have been named as defendants. And they even put assorted jewelry, which is funny. It has Martinez Arnold here. So you imagine that maybe some of this stuff belonged to Duke. YSL Enterprises, that's probably owned by a Young Thug. Maybe there were some car payments on some of these cars through Truist, is what I would imagine. Now, this is where the jewelry comes in, and people say, well, what about the jewelry? It just says assorted jewelry. Was the jewelry, was it rented? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we're going to go and talk about the jewelry here shortly, but let's just finish looking at this page. This may have been originally through Glanville, so maybe this case will just follow whatever the presiding judge over the YSL case is. Okay. Looks like, let's see here. Oh, this Lamborghini is listed. Did he dismiss the Lamborghini? Let's see here. Judgment on April 25th, 2023. He did. Looks like Judge Glanville might have dismissed the Lamborghini. Maybe we can take a look at that. Let's take a look. So there was a Lamborghini included, y'all, but it's not listed above. It looks like it was dismissed. Order dismissing from complaint for forfeiture 2018 Lamborghini Aventador. So dismissing from complaint. Now, why is that dismissed? It looks like It looks like the Lamborghini was taken off of the list. Okay. So y'all, let's get into the jewelry here. Okay. Let's get back into the jewelry. Now, this is what I included on the original video that I made. And we'll take a look at what happened with the jewelry. Okay. Good morning, Trina. Trina, Paralegal Regina. Okay, that's a cool name. All right. So there's a company that I'm going to read this. Okay. Comes now Gabriel Jacobs, owner of Rafaello and Company, or Rafaello and Company, buying through undersigned counsel, moves this court for an order for return of his property. On May 9th, it says that when Thug's home got 2022, Jeffrey Williams, young Thug, was arrested at his home. When he was arrested, he was wearing jewelry. That belongs to Mr. Jacobs. The jewelry is currently being held by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. The property of Mr. Jacobs was wrongfully seized and needs to be returned to him. Young Thug signed a purchase order with Mr. Jacobs, which states that Mr. Jacobs' company will remain, listen to this, y'all, will remain the sole owner of the jewelry until the balance is paid. So this doesn't sound like a rental agreement to me. It sounds more like a financing agreement in which the property rights remain with the owner, which with the seller. Okay? It sounds to me like a form of financing where the property interest remains with the financer, with the seller. Okay. I don't see this necessarily as indicating a rental agreement. Rated, he had over $1 million. So Young Thug owes Mr. Jacobs over $1 million for the jewelry. So we might not even know what he originally paid. We might not know what he originally owed. It just tells here what he still owes. So if he owes $1 million, the original value or current value could be anything. We don't know if he put a down payment. The paperwork probably says something about that, frankly. But just looking at this from here, we don't know if he put down a down payment. We don't know what his monthly payments were. We don't know what his balance was. Okay, so now they're going to give some law. A party aggrieved. So the party that's aggrieved they're talking about themselves. They're talking about we, the jewelry supplier to Thug. A party aggrieved by an unlawful search and seizure may move the court, pre-trial or pre-indictment, for return of the property, the possession of which is not unlawful. Worth of jewelry that belonged to this company. If a party feels law enforcement wrongly seized its property, the Georgia Code provides a specific remedy. A party can move the court for a return of the property. Wherefore, because the seizure of Mr. Jacobs' property, jewelry, was unlawful, he requests this court to order the state to return all of his seized property. In the alternative, Mr. Jacobs requests this court conduct a hearing to inquire into these matters so he can present evidence and exhibits showing his ownership of the property. So, y'all, this was about a month after the raid. And it says Thug was actually wearing this property at the time. Now, there's an exhibit here. Okay. There's a bunch of black and white images that go with this. If y'all want to see it, I'll try to pull it up. Okay. Matter of fact, I know I downloaded this already. I might be able to just grab that download again. Let me see. Account history. Let me go to my account history. Yeah. Y'all, I paid $15 for this. So $15. Yeah, I'm going to be able to show this to y'all. Let me show it to y'all here. Oh no. I have to download it. Let me go back to the video and I'm going to download it again, and then I'll see how I can put this on StreamYard so y'all can see this. At any rate, Give me 1 sec. Let me get back to my video. Where the heck is my video? And then I'm going to have to re-download it to show you. Okay, so this is what we have. 32 karat white diamond ring. The value is $650,000. Retail amount $575,000. 20 karat diamond studs, y'all. These are big, big diamond earrings. $250,000 value. Green emerald necklace, $20,000 value. 2-row white diamond chain, $90,000 value. 1 carat diamond cross. I like to see that. $35,000 value. Date just rose and steel Rolex watch, $35,000. 2 diamond dog tags, $35,000. So y'all, when you become a multi-millionaire rapper with tens and tens of millions of dollars to your name, you can go buy some diamond dog tags and it's only going to run you the not so expensive price of just $35,000. To a white wedding, white diamond wedding band ring. Somebody married? Y'all, just a joke, okay? White diamond. So there's a now this paperwork specifically says this was on Thug's person. Okay, $5,000 diamond wedding band and 2 diamond dog tags. So these 2 diamond dog tags are only $20,000. So for y'all who are hustling on a budget, so to y'all hustling on a budget, you might not go for the $35,000. You might just go for the $20,000. Now, what I want to see is how can I, let me see, video file, slides. Y'all, the only problem is I don't know how on StreamYard to actually show y'all this paper with all of the pictures and stuff on it. That's the issue. I'm not a StreamYard expert. I can show you some slides. I can show you a video file. Anybody know how I can show like a PDF on StreamYard? Let me know. Because I do have the PDF here and it has a bunch of pictures and stuff on it. I literally just downloaded it. But I don't know. Oh, I can share this tab. Okay, never mind. I just figured it out. Never mind, people. I figured it out. Okay. Oh, look at that. I'm technological. All right. I want to just get to the pictures, not the invoices. We aren't really worried about that. Check that out, y'all. Check that out. I know y'all are seeing that. That would be the 32 karat white diamond ring, I believe. Whose finger? Probably the original seller. That's not. Is that a wedding ring? I hope not, y'all. Is that a wedding ring? I don't know if this is a wedding ring, y'all. But that is what I believe to be the 32 karat white diamond ring that costs. Let's just put the value somewhere around $600,000, y'all. So if you got an extra $600,000 just chilling, you got your Bitcoin money that's done blown up, and you want to make something. You want to make somebody very happy. You can bless them with this. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's see the next picture. I'm getting mixed up with all of my different tabs I have open. Okay. Oh, that's another angle. I don't think Thug put that on anybody's finger, by the way, y'all. I hope not. I hope this person isn't the person, but hey, who am I to judge? All right, so I think it's gonna be the 32 karat white diamond ring. Wouldn't y'all like to see this? I love it if these were color. Yeah, there is a GIA certificate. I don't know how to read that, but that is this right here. Is to the side. Can I turn this? There you go. There you go. For all the people who know something about this stuff, you know, enjoy. For all the people who know anything about this, this is what that ring, this is its properties. Yo, Mariah, I don't know. Somebody said probably Mariah the scientist, maybe. All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. Okay, so this is the ring. The ring is like off the chain. God damn. I'm sorry, man. This is crazy. I want to call my, hey, Salma, man, I'm about to show my wife this ring, y'all. Get myself in trouble when she get mad at me for not buying or something like this. Vea este anillo, dime. ¿Qué te parece? $600,000.
Oh, wow.
¿Qué dice?
Sí.
Mira.
Se vería bonito. Sí.
$600,000, mira.
Wow.
32. Okay. All right, y'all, keep it moving. This must be the emerald necklace 20,000. Is this the emerald necklace, y'all? Looks like it has a pendant on it. Yeah, hair on the knuckles. I don't think that's Mariah's hand for sure. Yo, what if I'm not even gonna go there? Mariah's a beautiful woman. I'm sure that's not her hand. I think this might be the emerald necklace. Let's keep it moving. This would be probably the white diamond wedding band ring. Y'all, are y'all catching a drift here? Are y'all catching a drift? Is anybody catching a drift? I'm certainly not going to be the person to put out a drift that y'all need to catch. Remember, y'all, this was 2.5 years ago. How much of his jewelry is missing besides the watch? That's what we're literally looking at. Now, missing, I don't know. This is the inventory. This is the seizure inventory. So it doesn't necessarily mean this is everything they seized. They may have other stuff that they're not trying to have him forfeit. So excuse me. This is not the seizure inventory. This is the forfeiture inventory. They may have seized other stuff that they're not trying to have him forfeit. So we don't necessarily know if there's a seizure inventory. There probably is out there. I don't see any, so we don't have a seizure inventory. This is in the forfeiture inventory. It just says assorted jewelry. So there may be a paper with it itemized, and there probably is, but that's like $50. That's like $50. Maybe have to, do that one for another day. But so what we're looking at, this is not the seizure inventory. This is not even the forfeiture inventory, which might be smaller than the seizure inventory. This is the inventory from Raffaello, or however you pronounce this jewelry company, that says that they've given Thug these jewels on some kind of payment plan or something, finance basically. So we're looking at a small subset of what was seized, and this is just what was seized that this jewelry company had given to Thug on a payment plan. Okay, that's all we're looking at right now. We did look at the forfeiture inventory, of which this stuff is a part of the forfeiture inventory. We looked at that list, and I'll go back and review that in a sec. So we have what appears to be a wedding ring. We have what appears to be a wedding ring. And we also have what appears to be a wedding band. It's literally called a wedding band. Now, is this a woman's wedding band, or is this a man's wedding band? We might be able to tell from the receipts what size it is, and that would probably tell us. But y'all, doesn't this seem like it would be a wedding band, and it would be maybe go with this? I don't know. Looks masculine. Okay, so this looks masculine to you? I don't know, y'all. It's very nice though. It's very nice. Very nice. I would actually like something like this myself. Salma, you need to buy me a wedding band. It's only gonna cost, let's see, five. This is only $5,000. So, all right. So this is a Rolex watch. This is the Rolex. This is the Rolex that they have listed for 35,000. This is a date just rose and steel Rolex watch listed for 35,000. Again, these are the best images we have, y'all. These are the best images we have. Yeah, this is really nice stuff. I mean, shoot. This is really nice stuff. So this is the Rolex. Let's keep going. It gives us a serial number. Well, I wonder if I could take that serial number and find the actual image. Probably not. Let me see. 6Q6S. 6Q6S8156. Will it come up? Probably not. Nah, it doesn't come up. All right. Let's keep it moving, y'all. This would be the diamond. This would have to be the 2-row white diamond chain. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the inventory again. We saw the diamond ring. We haven't seen the studs yet. I want to see these studs, these 20 karat studs, y'all. I'm kind of more excited to see that than anything. We've seen the green emerald necklace. Oh, this is the 1 carat diamond cross. That's what this would be. This is the 1 carat diamond cross. $35,000 for this. I wish they had like a ruler or something to show us like how big this thing is. 35 G's, y'all. Jeez Louise. This is the first thing so far that's made me say that it just doesn't, I don't get it. Mourning Shirley's divorce finally. We're just pocket watching, Thug. All this is public information. This is out there on Twitter, y'all. I did not do any additional research to find this. Somebody published this on Twitter. I don't remember the name. Again, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna start writing people's name down so we can give them credit. But I saw this inventory, so I just went to the Fulton County database, to their court record database, and looked it up. But this is already out there. I didn't do any extra digging or anything like that. But we are pocket watching a bit, y'all. So this is what $35,000 will buy you. We don't have any idea how big this is, but you can get a sense that it's probably tiny. This is probably, yeah, the tag does say 94,600. The tag says 94,600, and it does look like that's a price. I don't know, but on the sheet here it says 35,000. So I can't tell you the difference. One thing that I can also tell you besides that, this thing looks like it's tiny, because imagine how big is a tag? A tag is normally like what, like that? And this thing is about maybe 3 tags long. So it's not tiny, maybe about that big. Maybe about that big. It's not big though for 35 G's. 35 G's. I mean, that thing's probably this big. You're talking about $35,000. And yes, this tag does say 94,600. This tag says 94,600. That is what the tag says. Oh man, this is a little anticlimactic. These are the $250,000 studs, I believe. And a little anticlimactic because I was hoping to get a better image of them. Like, you literally can't tell the size or anything. No court today, y'all. That's why we are just in here pocket watching Thug, and we're looking at the stuff that the government seized from him. Okay, we're looking at this stuff that the government took from Thug that they want him to forfeit. So, in a sense, because he owes money on this stuff, he would probably still have to pay to the seller whatever he owes. So there's no court today, y'all. It's Veterans Day. So I wish we got a better image of that. All right, what would this be? This is some kind of A double diamond chain. Oh, this is the 2-row diamond chain. This is the 2-row white diamond chain for $90,000. 2-row. So they must be connected some kind of way. Man, I like to see what this looks like on Thug. Let me get rid of this so y'all can see the bottom. Looks like these are wings. It looks like these are wings. So we have a 2-row white diamond chain with some wings on it. With some wings, I guess. It must fall in such a way that the wings line up properly. And this is $90,000, y'all. Let's keep it moving. This would be the pair of diamond dog tags. I can't tell if the dog tags, there's 2 sets. One of the sets is $35,000. The other is $20,000. Yeah. That's just some nice stuff. I mean, my man has style, y'all. My man has style. So, like, you know, you can't deny that. So this will either be the $35,000 or the $20,000 diamond dog tags. Do not know which they are. All right, I'm not gonna go. All right, so that's it for that. I don't want to go into all of that stuff. So I don't want to go into all the documentation because that's kind of outside of the purview of what we're doing here. So that would constitute everything that was seized from Thug that he owed, well, that he got from this company. I don't know how to pronounce it. Rafael and Company. Okay. Gabriel Jacobs. And they petitioned to have this property returned. And let me show y'all. Oh, let's take a look. I'm gonna put this up for a sec. Y'all just take a look at this while I search for another document. Y'all take a look at that while I search for another document, because don't y'all want to see what are you curious to know what the response from the state was? Are you curious to know what the state responded? All right, so we have that motion for return of property. You might as well take a look at this one too. We might as well take a look at these other motions for the return of property. Since we're at it, why not? All right, so shortly after that motion for return of property, you have Brian Steele, who filed another motion. I'm just going to read this real quick. So Brian Steele filed another motion for return of property. Comes now, defendant Jeffrey Williams, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion for the return of all lawful property that is being improperly held by law enforcement, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, instanter. That just means right away. In support of this motion, Mr. Williams shows as follows. Now, this was filed about a month and a half after the raid. No, about a month after the raid. This was filed about a month after the raid. So this is what Mr. Williams is showing. On or about Monday, May 9, 2022. So yeah, a month and a half. Mr. Williams was arrested and law enforcement officers seized jewelry, money, vehicles, cellular phones, papers, and other items. So remember I said that of everything they seized, they're not looking for a forfeiture of everything. Like they didn't list cell phones, for example. They didn't list papers, for example. All lawful items were obtained by Mr. Williams through gainful employment and not through criminal activity. Now, y'all, remember that we've already reviewed this. Anybody who is just popping on this stream or who was not on at that time, we reviewed this, and this is a very important piece to this entire civil asset forfeiture seizure puzzle. This is very important. When the government wants to take your stuff, they in this fashion, they name your stuff as guilty, not you. They name your stuff as guilty. And in order to get your stuff, so they already have possession of your stuff. In order to get it back, you have to prove that your stuff is not guilty, that it's not the result of criminal activity. And it's kind of wild because we know Thug has earned tens of millions of dollars in his life, if not hundreds, right? He's earned tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in his life. So we have no stretch of the imagination. We have no difficulty. We have no problem imagining that he could buy all of this stuff. Practically everything we've seen, he could probably buy it with just, 2, 3, 4 tour dates or whatever. He said he had done a concert where he donated all of the money. I think he said he earned $1.7 million and he just donated it. If we take that on face value, everything we've seen today, practically, he could have purchased it with 1 or 2 concerts at that rate. So there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Thug has the income potential and the actual income to just buy this stuff. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that Thug has the potential and the earned income to just buy all of this stuff. But even still, his attorney has to make it a point to say that all of these items were obtained lawfully. Now, I will say this, y'all. I will say this. Yeah, he said 1. I thought it was 1.7, but let's say 1.7, 1.8. But he said he earned that in a concert. He said he did a concert and donated all the money, and it was like 1.7 or $8 million. But now, let me say this. And a lot of times people get upset with me because they don't want me to give any credit. They don't want me to give any credit to the prosecution. I will say this. At the point where this was filed, that the forfeiture was filed by the prosecution, it made sense for them to file it at that time because they filed it in July, 2 months after the arrest. It made perfect sense. They thought we will probably, likely, possibly find some kind of criminal nexus with money. And if we do, we'll be able to keep this stuff. So it made perfect sense at that time for them to just file it because their investigation was just getting started. They didn't know what they were going to find. They didn't know what they were going to uncover. And they probably thought that they would find something. And even if they didn't, at least they had this opportunity filed. So for everybody who's like, this is wrong, if you go back to the moment that they did the filing, it would have made perfect sense. We arrested him. We think this is a RICO. We think we're going to uncover some more stuff. Let's just file for him to forfeit all these assets because we'll probably find that he was using his fame, his money to get street illegal money, whatever. Maybe we'll find some drugs. Maybe we'll find some crypto scams. Maybe we'll find some, credit card, whatever, whatever we might find. So let's just go ahead and file it. So this would have been July 2022, after they arrested him 2 months earlier. So when they arrested him, they seized all this stuff. Brian still said, give us the stuff back. To date, the forfeiture section of the Honorable Fulton County District Attorney's Office has not communicated with undersigned counsel. So at this point, they still had not filed with any specificity as to on how to have this property that is lawfully owned by Mr. Williams returned to Mr. Williams. So they raid Thug in May. Brian still says in June, give us the stuff back. And in July, the Fulton County government says we would like to retain this property. Okay. So that was July where they said, but they didn't directly answer this motion by Brian Steele. They did not answer him right away. They filed to keep the property but they didn't directly answer him right away. So if you see, this was filed in June, give us the stuff back. So they took the stuff in May. June, both Brian Steele and this Raffaello company, jewelry company, they both say, give us the stuff back in June. A month and a half later. Hey, give us the stuff back. Okay. So 1 month and a half later, Steele and the jewelry company are saying, give us the stuff back. No response that I've seen. A month after that, the states, they filed for forfeiture. Still no direct response to Brian Steele, to Thug, to the jewelry company. We're now 2 months after the forfeiture, approximately. They're saying to the government, to the courts, I should say, hey, can we keep this stuff? But they're not responding directly to these two motions to give the stuff back by the owners. Okay. I believe Glanville had this at that time. All right. Now, check this out. When did the state finally respond to the motions? Y'all, when did the state finally respond to the motions that were filed in June to get the stuff back? When did the state finally respond to the, hey, give us our stuff back motions that were both filed in June? They did not respond until December. This was filed December 29th, 2022. So Thug stuff is taken in May. They asked for the stuff back in June. The state files to keep the stuff in July. The state did respond, Kimberly. We're looking at the response right now. State's response to motions for return of property. That's what we're looking at a few days ago. No, this was 6 months later, y'all. It was 6 months later. Okay. So half a year later, the state finally gets around to, oh yeah, let's give them a response. Let's read it. Okay. So half a year later, they still have his stuff. Let's read it. The state of Georgia, by and through the undersigned District Attorney Fani T. Willis, hereby responds to Defendant Williams's motions for return of property. On June 17th, so we looked at these two motions already. One of these is the Raffaello company, where they're talking about the jewelry that we just reviewed, all the jewelry. And then the other one is this one by Brian Steele, which is just kind of a short motion saying, hey, give us our stuff back. On June 17th and June 21st, Williams and Raffaello and company filed motions. So this is proof, y'all, that she's saying in December, I'm responding to what y'all said back in June. This is the proof. She literally gives you the dates. You can see the date where she's responding up here is December. And you can see she's referencing back to June. Okay, so Williams and Raffaello company filed motions for return of property seized from Williams' home on May 9th, after his arrest on an indictment. The motions filed by Williams and Raffaello and company for the return of property were filed in June 2022 in the pending criminal case under the previous indictment number and were filed before the Fulton County District Attorney's Office instituted or filed a civil action for forfeiture of the seized property. Any continued request for the return of property is properly addressed in the accompanying civil forfeiture case. Case records show that the civil forfeiture case is stayed pending resolution of this instant criminal matter. Okay, so what does this say? She's saying, look, y'all asked us to give the stuff back before we even tried to permanently deprive you of it. Y'all asked us for the stuff back before we even filed to permanently deprive you of it. Moreover, now there's a criminal case and this entire civil thing, this civil asset forfeiture situation is stayed, is put on hold, is paused until the criminal case wraps up, which for Thug, it just did. Now, will he have to wait for all the criminal cases, the YSL cases, to wrap up before this moves forward? I don't know. Okay. Thug's stuff was wrapped up. Thug's case was wrapped up on October 31st on Halloween. We all watched that. That was the plea. But there are still criminal cases moving forward. So I don't know for sure when Whitaker's going to pick this case up again. Is she going to wait to resolve everything? Is she going to wait to resolve the two more defendants that are on this, that are in this case, Yak and Shannon? I don't know. Therefore, these motions should be addressed through the civil forfeiture case. The state urges the court to dismiss these motions for return of property. Okay, so that was 6 months later. That was 6 months later, y'all. So y'all can see how they could do you. They can come up in your house, take your stuff, put you in under arrest, keep you in jail, and keep your stuff in jail. Okay? And keep your stuff in jail. She needs to understand what she made these individuals dealt with. Yeah, I mean, she put Thug in jail, which I would imagine cost him untold millions of dollars. And she also put his untold millions of dollars worth of stuff in jail. I did ask ChatGPT to give an estimate of what everything's worth, but it's difficult to know because Brian Steele, he put here, he just put seized jewelry. The problem is we know how much money it was. It was $150,000. We saw the vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles. Like 6, 7. Cellular phones aren't going to be worth that much. Papers probably, I imagine, don't have a lot of value. Other items, you don't itemize it, so it's probably just little stuff. But the jewelry is the big thing where there's an X factor. We did look at this jewelry here that's worth about $1 million. But we also see that there was a Bubba Watson watch that's not included in this list. And who knows how much more jewelry there was that wasn't included in this list by Rafael, because remember, this was just the list of jewelry that was, I guess, financed or some kind of payment arrangement that Thug had with this company. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. My dad's a veteran, U.S. Army veterans. Definitely want to give a shout out to everybody who has served the country. We want to thank y'all for that. So y'all, as you can see on my thumbnail, he's like, let's look at what they stole from Thug, y'all. So I hopefully y'all are seeing this is no joke. This is no joke. Like they really went and got, but one thing that people were saying that they took real estate from him. I didn't see or uncover. And also, as we're looking here, where Brian Steele has enumerated some of the items, also in the civil asset forfeiture, I didn't see anything about real estate or bank accounts. So I'm not saying that is not part of it. I'm just saying I didn't see it. I'm not saying that it's not part of it. I'm just saying I didn't see it. Okay. So if anybody has more information, I didn't see any real estate. I didn't see any bank accounts. I did see that they got $149,000 and some dollars. Okay. Moreover, they could charge Yak and Shannon for those weapons when they were not physically in the house. I don't know if it's those same weapons. There's a lot of weapons, y'all. There's a lot of weapons. I think Yak was there. Wasn't Yak there that day? I think Yak was there the day of the raid. All right, y'all. So finally, y'all, some of y'all have already seen this before. Some of you haven't. But this was also the subject of this case. I'm not trying to break any news. I'm not trying to expose anybody. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. But because they showed images of this house, and we've looked at this before, you want to hang around, I appreciate it. We're just going to look through this house again. This was the house that got raided. This is the actual site of the raid. You really can't tell. Let's see. Let me see here. Okay, that is. So this is you can't really tell how big the driveway is or the parking lot. There's a bunch of cars seized. But yes, this house is sold. Correct. This house is sold. Okay. We're just looking at the place where everything was during the raid. We've seen images of this. But we're going to look at it not from the police perspective when, they're in there raiding. We're just looking at the house itself. The first document you pulled up with all his information at the bottom, it said Bank of America, it said Wells Fargo. Yeah. I imagine that he might have had car loans on some of those cars. He might have been paying monthly payments on the cars or some of the other items. He might have had credit card payments. I don't know. So let's take a look at the house, y'all. Looks like it has a 3-car garage in the back. So we're just going to walk through this house real quick. This house is 355 Allison Drive, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia. This house is sold. That's why, if this were his current residence, I probably wouldn't do this. Not impressed with it. Well, let's take a look on the inside. Nice little wooded area. It's a nice house. Northern Dame. Yeah, pretty nice house. Pretty nice house. So Northern Dame, I don't know your gender. I don't know where you coming from, but let's just say you're open and you're in the romantic interest market. Let's just imagine that you're open and you're in the romantic interest market and you go out on a blind date. Your friend hooks you up with somebody and they're like, yeah, it's a really cool person, blah, blah, blah. You go out on a blind date. And then whatever day it is that you finally get to see their house, they're like, okay, yeah, they pull up and this is what you see. Let's say it's daytime, so you can see it really well. And you're like, not very impressed with that. Then you walk in and this is what you see. Northern Dame. So you're saying you walk in and this is what you see. You're like, not very impressive. Is that the first thing you're going to think? Not very impressive to me. Okay, so Annabella. So y'all are both saying you're going to walk into somebody's house and you're going to walk in. Yeah, I said your gender. I didn't say your race. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, imagine you have a romantic interest. If you're married, just imagine you weren't. You weren't, you're not married. You have a romantic interest. Whenever you finally go to that person's house, you walk in, this is the first thing you see. You're going to say, you know what? I'm not impressed. Just not impressive to me. Like, just not impressed. Just something about it doesn't impress me. Like, I wish you were impressive. I wish you could have impressed me, but this is just not what impressive looks like to me. I would say this, not my style, but as a regular person, yeah, this would be impressive. If my boy's like, yo, come on over. I just bought a new house. And I come up, I pull up outside and it looks like this. I'll be like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. Not my style. It's definitely not my style. I'll be like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. But I think once I walk in and I see this, I'll be like, oh, my boy done made it. I think I'll be like, my boy done made it. My boy made it. I think right here, I'm like, yeah, my boy made it. He made up. He made it. Like, my boy has arrived. I'm jumping on the couch. I'm like, yo, can I jump on the couch? because I'm literally like, I'm jumping on this jump. I'm plopping. I'm a plop on that jump. I don't even care, y'all. I'm plopping on this couch. I'm plopping on this couch. You got your little butler's pantry or whatever. Again, not my style. Definitely not my style. But is this, I mean, this is definitely a nice house, though. 1.6 acres. Ooh, that's a lot of land. That's a lot of land, too. I mean, relatively speaking. One thing we noticed, y'all, was that the gold money counter is still here. And the YSL, whatever this, we can never really figure out what this machine is back here. What this appliance, somebody can maybe help. But once we get a closer image of this, Miss Lily, good morning. Been a while. Welcome. Good to see you. Once we get over here, y'all, let me know what this thing is here. But the gold money counter in the foreground, they like, yo, keep the gold money counter there, because whoever might want to buy this house, when they see the gold money counter, they're gonna know it is what it is. Y'all, what is this thing? I cannot tell. This thing here. What is this? With the squigglies on it. It kind of looks like a microwave, but not really. Mini fridge. I can't tell what it is. I literally can't tell. And I've seen everything. Yeah, this is about 2.5 million, y'all. This is about 2.5 million. The 1.6 acres, I did not verify that, but that would definitely play a role in the price too. I think this is the master bedroom. Air fryer. Yeah, that might be an air fryer. Yeah, Miss Lily, you know every morning we're looking for you. I'm definitely sorry to hear. Keep fighting and join us when you can. You know we're pulling for you. Always love having you in the chat, Miss Lily, for sure. Y'all think this is the master bedroom? The bed looks like it's off from our perspective, is off to the left a little bit. We went over this. We kind of nitpicked this whole house. It's not my style, y'all. It really isn't. It's 1,000,000% not my style, but it's very nice though. It's just not my style. You know what? And it's a little surprising that this is Thug style. It's a little bit like, oh, okay, so this is your style. You know what I mean? It's a little surprising, to be honest. I'm a little surprised about that. I think the master is on the first level, y'all, even though it doesn't have an upstairs like loft level, because as you can see, you can walk out to like an outside barbecue area. So the master, if we take this to be the master, which I think it is, it's on the first level, which is interesting. So Thug must have felt safe. Another angle. Now, once you walk around the corner, once you walk around these, like you walk around either of these two corners, one side, if not both, leads you to some closet space. The bathroom is in the back, it looks like, with like full view. You know, meaning like if you just so happen to be walking on his property and somebody's taking a bath, you will probably get a full view. Sinks and whatnot. So I believe this is behind the bedroom. So if you notice when you come in, this would be your bed. Then when you walk through these doors, you would walk around and back behind this would be where your bathroom and stuff is, which is interesting. See? You can see it. And I think in the middle here is where your closets are. So I think your closet is literally kind of in this middle space, which is, I never seen anything set up like that. This definitely has bachelor pad written all over it. 10,000,000%. I don't know where this is, but this is the laundry stuff. You go upstairs. Is this 2 stairways? No. You go upstairs. You have this kind of wraparound recliner couch. Lots of artwork here, y'all. You got your prints. Over here, I think this is Basquiat. You have your 2, looks like African ladies with the pucker lips. bathroom, maybe guest bedroom, or somebody. Maybe a girl lives in here. I can't tell. Maybe a girl. Maybe it's a woman's room or a girl's room. Maybe daughter's room. Another bedroom with a couple of beds. Another bathroom. Are we back downstairs now? Yeah, I can't really tell. We must be back downstairs because we're on ground level again. If you doubted whether this was Young Thug's house or not, doubt no more. If you doubted whether this was Thug's house or not, doubt no more. He has his Barter 6 gold album right there. So if you doubted that this was Thug's house, doubt no more. Is this a basement, y'all? I can't really tell if this has this. People from Atlanta, do y'all have basements there? Oh, snap. Are you saying, Lakita, that this is his current house? I don't want to dox this house. So let me take this off, though. I don't want to dox my man. I'm showing this one because this is a previous house. So, I don't want to dox my man where he lives now. Slime Season 3 gold album. He has another. Okay. So he has a couple of his gold albums here. Slim Life, thank you for gifting a membership. Whoever gets it, please thank Slim Life. Okay, yeah, this is like a basement. This is like so he has a basement. Okay, so y'all Atlanta folks have basements too, huh? Cool. Oh, this is a basement or like a downstairs. 3-car garage. So Tay Toomer got the Slim Life gift and membership. We appreciated it. We appreciate this. Which one was sold on 4/24? This one or the other one? This one. Okay, so if he has I guess we could take a look at it. We could take a look. If y'all want to look at other ones, we could do it because at the end of the day, Thug can't live in Atlanta anymore. So we really won't be doxing him, will we? I guess we're not doxing him because he can't live in Atlanta. So any Atlanta area homes can't be his home. Is that right? Do y'all agree with that? Look, I'm sensitive about this stuff, y'all. Okay? But if we use some deductive reasoning, he can't live in Atlanta, so any Atlanta area residences can't be his residence. Is that right? We have basements, of course. That's where the girl made that phone call. Oh, yeah, that's right. Very good. Very good observation. Very good observation. I got to do a spin move on that one. Okay, who was that said they're not impressed? Who said they weren't impressed? Who said I'm not impressed? I'm not gonna go up and whoever you were, whoever you are, if you're still there, you trying to tell me this is not okay, there you go. Northern Dame, come on now. Come on. Look at this. You telling me this isn't impressive? Like, it might not be your style. It's definitely not my style. I've said that a bunch of times. So would I buy this if I had $2 million? Not unless my wife and my kids loved it and they told me I had to. Just for me, would this be my bachelor pad? Probably not. Just for the style of it. But if you saying that this isn't impressive, this is very nice. This is very nice. I mean, it has a balcony upstairs. It has, I'm not going to get into all this. It's very nice. Okay. So, but is it everybody's style? Of course not. It's not everybody's style. It's not like, oh, if I had that amount of money, I'd be buying it. No. But this is very nice. In fact, it is much more impressive from this angle than it is from this angle. But this is just, you got your outside grilling area. This is nice, y'all. Woo! And they use it too. Look at all that soot. They be out there grilling. All right, y'all. Somebody drop the address for any other of verified thug properties that we can take a look at. I'm not worried about it because again, I just remembered he has to move. He's moving. He's out. If it's public knowledge, we don't have to worry about it. So, if y'all have somebody drop that again, if somebody has the address, drop it again so we can take a look at it. If I had the money, I would love to own it, just not in Fulton County. Yeah, Fulton is off. So, y'all, what we've done so far is we've been able to take a look at all kinds of property that they've seized from Thug. We've seen jewelry, this huge diamond ring. Is this a wedding ring or what? Is this a wedding ring or what? Because frankly, is there any way this isn't a wedding ring? Is there any way this is not a wedding ring? Particularly when you combine it with this. Engagement ring? Okay. Okay, engagement ring. It's a marriage related piece of jewelry. Okay. It's a marriage related piece of jewelry, right or wrong? All right, I'll take it. Let's take a look at the 3511. All right. It's a marriage related piece of jewelry, right or wrong? Let's see. All right, I'm looking this up, y'all. Oh, this is totally different. This is totally different. Is this it? Y'all give me a yes. Give me a yes in the chat if this is the one that y'all are talking about. This is nothing like the other one. Is this it? Somebody let me know. I don't think Roxbury was his house anymore. The seller used his name. This doesn't have the same vibe at all. Well, so Chadingi is saying, Chadiggy is saying that she does not believe that this was Thug's house. That's his old house. Totally different vibe. I mean, if there's one thing that's similar, is it does seem to be like in a somewhat wooded area. But this does not have bachelor pad at all. This is definitely not bachelor pad. He left that house in 2019. Okay, so this is his old house, but we can kind of feel what the vibe is. This does not feel like bachelor pad. It's his. This is definitely like family house to me. Nah, I'm not jamming my boys. I'm not jamming my boys, my blunts, my guns in this one. It comes up on Google as his house. You talking about this one? My boy's not getting jammed up in this one, y'all. My boy's not getting jammed up in this one. This is very nice, though. See, Thug, y'all, you got to remember, Thug is one of 11 brothers and sisters. I think his sister passed away, but there's still a bunch of them. So, you know, you're talking about a lot of people who would probably be coming over, sleeping over. Whoa, inside. Is that an inside pool? Oh, shoot. Whoa. What? Hold up. What? Hold up. What? I'm trying to understand. Can y'all see this? Hold up. Okay. Zillow won't let me make it bigger. Can y'all see this, though? Is this a pool like under the stairwell? Yo, this is tripping me out. There's a pool under the stairwell. Or is that outside? No, this is outside. I can't figure this out. Is this out? Does this have a glass roof right here? I can't figure this out. What is this area here in the middle where all the sunlight is falling? It has a glass roof, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, it has a glass roof. Oh, snap. It has a glass. No, this is inside. Or is this attached? A pool house that's attached to the house, maybe. Yo, this is crazy. Yes, a sun. I get it's a sunroom, but you couldn't really tell. You can't tell from this angle that you're just about to walk into a sunroom, or are you already in the sun? This must be the sunroom. This whole thing must be a huge sunroom, is what it is. But it has 2 levels. Have you ever seen a 2-level sunroom? Yeah. But the thing is, I've never seen a sunroom that looks like this. I've never seen this is like a pool house sunroom. Yeah, this is crazy. This house is wild. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all. So from here, it looks like you can see the sunroom through this window. Okay, so you're in Atlanta. You want a climate controlled pool so you can make use of it all year. You got money so you can afford to just throw heat on it. You're not worried about your heating bill. $2 million house, which, by the way, I think in my area would probably be like 5, but it is what it is. So you're like, yo, just build me a pool house / sunroom. It's like a double up. It's like a double up. It's like a pool house and a sunroom at the same time. And I'll just throw heat on it. If it's wintertime and I want to take a dip, we just going to have a $5,000 heater bill, gas bill or whatever y'all use, electric bill, whatever, however they're heating it. It was his and Jerica's house. Yo, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is a shower room. This isn't even a shower. This is a shower room. Yeah, so anything in Southern California would be like crazy. Yo, cuz built a whole room for a shower. Y'all know how much of this would be mine? No joke. And y'all think I'm kidding. You think I'm joking. You think I'm playing. But no joke, no kid, no joke. Of this, if I had to share this with my wife, I would probably get like one of these back shelves. This little back shelf, because I would be like, well, I don't want to hang anything in front of the window because I like natural light. So that would be my mistake. I would get this back shelf, no joke. And she would have everything else. No joke. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I would get this back shelf with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would get 6 shelves worth of space, and everything else would be my wife's. No joke. And I guess this is the area it's in. All right, y'all. Do we have any other properties before we go? That's a very nice closet. It will be my wife's closet. Yo, this is no joke. Like, I have a closet, like in my direction where I'm facing. My walk-in closet's right there. It's not this big, but it's a nice size. I mean, it's a walk-in, and I have like maybe 1/10 of it is for me. Maybe 1/10. 1/10 is mine. Any other addresses before we go, y'all? Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, this house is something else. My house doesn't have any of this, and I have an apartment. I'm tired of this. All right, y'all. Well, so today we looked at some of Thug's stuff, y'all. A little bit of pocket watching going on. I don't think most of this is public knowledge, so I don't think we did anything wrong. He cannot live in the suburbs of Atlanta. No, he cannot. I'll show y'all this. I'm gonna show y'all where he can't live. He cannot live in the suburbs of Atlanta. She said he can't live in Metro Atlanta as per the U.S. Census. Anything that's within this red line, he can't live there. So if there are suburbs outside of this red line, he could live there. Like he could go to Macon. He could go to Athens. He could go to Athens. He could go to Rome. But he can't live in this red line, y'all. Within this red and white dotted line, he can't live anywhere. Listen, I'm just taking this from Google, imagining that it lines up with the census. Okay, so I didn't do a cross check, so don't take this as like any kind of final word. But I went back and I reviewed, and I'm sure that Judge Whitaker did not say he can't live in Atlanta. She said he can't live in Atlanta metro area as defined by the U.S. Census. She literally put the U.S. Census into it. Matter of fact, I will show you this. I'll show you where she says it because I put the map there. Watch.
-10-1 subsection 2, I'm sorry, A2A. And Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here.
Stipulate.
All right, I appreciate that. Special conditions of your probation.
What good cause? What do you mean?
Can I have a second, Your Honor?
Conditions of your probation. After 48 hours from your release, you are to stay away from the metro Atlanta area, and that's defined by the U.S. Census Bureau. It may change.
You see that? You are to stay away. So basically, he had 2 days to pick up and get out of the metro Atlanta area. That was October 31st. So as of November 2nd, that was his last day. He had November 1st, November 2nd, basically until the evening time, November 2nd, to get out of metro Atlanta. And Kimberly, she even said as per the U.S. Census Bureau. So this is metro Atlanta. This is not Atlanta. She didn't say Atlanta proper. She said metro Atlanta, which I just typed into Google. Okay, so again, this is not a cross-reference with the census, but we imagine that it's going to line up more or less. So everybody, you're talking about this area or something like this is where Thug cannot be. It's not he can't live here. He can't even be physically present here except for under certain conditions where he has to do charity work and if somebody has a graduation or a funeral and these sorts of things. But other than that, he just can't even be anywhere within this red line. So you're talking about pretty big area where Thug can't be. He can't even get close to Atlanta. For example, y'all might not have known this, but you can measure distance. So you measure distance from Atlanta to, you're talking about from this direction, he can't even get within 78 miles of Atlanta. From this direction, he basically has to stay roughly 50 miles away from Atlanta. He has to stay roughly 50 miles outside of the city. So he's not even getting close. You know what I'm saying? This, like the closest he could get would be probably like right around here, which is about 36 miles. Other than that, my man is, he can get as close as about 36 miles if he is on this point right here. So yeah, he can't do very much. Here's 34 miles. Okay, there you go. He can get as close as 34 miles if he's right there. Yeah, they're gonna be watching him, and yeah, he'll be better off. So y'all, that's gonna do it for me today. I just wanted to pop in, give y'all a little bit of a fix. You know, seeing as how we're not having court today. I thought this was interesting. I thought this would be interesting information. So please do hit the like button. Hit the like whatever you're doing right now. Stop. Hit the like, please. How many likes do we have? Where's my phone? Whatever you're doing right now, stop and hit the like, please. If you're not a subscriber, do subscribe. Antoinette, you got back right now, but we're wrapping it up. We're finishing it up. Go watch one of our videos, y'all. Whatever video it is, just pop in, hit a like. Show us some love. Show us some love. We have. Go watch one of our videos, y'all. Whatever. How many likes do we have? 376 likes, y'all. Come on, people. I just liked it. 378. Can we get to 500? Can we get to 500 likes, people? Can we get to 500 likes, people? All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. I thank everybody. We will be back tomorrow at about probably 8:30, 8:45. And y'all have a good day. See y'all later. Thanks, Miss Lily. Thanks, Amy. Andre, I haven't seen you in a minute, buddy. Hope you're okay. Don't be stingy with the likes, people. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.